This is track 3, and it's regarding the labels and categories that we'll put people into. There are words, terms, and labels that we all use to make sense of our lives and categorize events and people into recognizable groups. Now, labels help us to become comfortable in uncomfortable situations by moving people and events into categories that we are familiar with and can understand. We label something or someone by observing them and their behaviors, attitudes, and body language. Once we feel we have established a strong enough pattern, bang, the label goes on. Labeling may take us only a millisecond, or it could take us a lifetime. If the label really takes hold, it can actually transform into an absolute belief. Once we have a belief about someone or something, we often take ordinary events and magnify them to support our label or our belief about them. For instance, if we label our friend as someone who eats too much, every time that person sticks something in their mouth, you might be saying to yourself, "Oh, see, there he goes again, stuffing his fat face." Now, fact is, this may be the first meal of the day, or the food they're eating might be part of their new fat-reduced diet, or perhaps they're eating because they just took some medication, which must be ingested with food. Problem is, we don't normally investigate past the label if we think the behavior we see supports our belief. Now, if we want to change our perceptions, and therefore our attitudes and behaviors, we must change the words and labels we use so that we can improve our attitudes towards people and improve our actions. Now, here's an interesting example. If you went to the hospital with a severe cut, would you prefer the doctors think of you as a leaking unit with minimal recovery chances? That's an interesting label. Or a traumatized patient with significant lacerations? Would you rather your teacher label you as learning disabled or a teaching challenge? You see, the label itself is not the problem. The problem comes from the change in our behaviors and approach to the person once we label them. If you start to pre-qualify and label customers as dreamers and time wasters, your behavior towards the sale and that person will reflect your limiting belief. If during the close you start hearing yourself label the person as impossible, a shopper, or a flake, your behavior and attitude will ensure that they are. Here's a fun idea. Get your sales team to keep track of all the negative labels they stick on people throughout the day. Then split them into teams and have a contest to see who can come up with the biggest list of positive alternate labels. Remember, it's fun to be good.